Good day, everyone. My name is Shaina Nina Roslisa from BEd 2B, and my topic is all about the preposition of place. So, what is prepositions? The definition of prepositions is preposition is a word which is used before a noun phrase, or a pronoun, connecting it to another word. Preposition functions within phrases to modify main verbs, nouns, or adjectives. They also express spatial temporal relationship between parts of a sentence. Any member of a class of words found in many languages that are used before nouns, pronouns, or other substances or substantives to form phrases functioning as modifiers of verbs, nouns, or adjectives, and that typically express the spatial, temporal, or other relationship as in, on, by, to, and since. So, there are different kinds of prepositions. There are simple prepositions, compound prepositions. Simple prepositions are prepositions which consist only one word. Example, in, on, at, with, against, and others. The examples or the meaning of compound prepositions are prepositions which consist of two or more words. Example of compound prepositions are instead of, in the middle of, by the side of, and etc. So, some prepositions that can be found on in the sentence are on, truth, behind, for, beneath, against, beside, over, during, without, abroad, across, among, against, around, at the end, at the bottom, between, behind, below, by, inside, corner, into, via, after, to, about, in, on, at, since, while, under, over, right, left, and other prepositions that we can find on a sentence or a paragraph. In the kinds of preposition, there are three types in prepositions. The place of preposition, time of preposition, and direction of preposition. But this time, we will focus on a place of prepositions. Preposition of place. To confuse matters a bit, the most common prepositions to indicate time or place, time, is on, at, in, are also the most common preposition to indicate possession or place. However, the rules are little clearer as prepositions are more rigid concept than the time preposition. It is stated there that the preposition of place is more clear, rigid, easy to understand than the preposition of time. Example of preposition of place. First sentence, the cat is on the table. The preposition of place there is the word on. And the second sentence is the dogs are in the kennel. The preposition of place there is also the N. And the third sentence, I will read, we can meet at the crossroads. The preposition of place there is at. So, in preposition of place, there is on, at, and in. So, in on is used when referring to something with a surface. Example, the sculpture hangs on the wall. The images are on the page. The third one is the specials are on the menu, which is on the table. We can say that on is used when we refer to something with a surface. Like these examples, on describes that the sculpture was hanging on the wall, and the images are on the page. Like on a book one, when we turn pages, there is something like images of a man or playground or something, kitchen, or any image that we can found in a book, in a page of a book. In a preposition of place, it is used when referring to something that is inside or within confined boundaries. This could be anything, even a country. So example of in preposition of place is Jim is in France visiting his aunt in the hospital. In describes some referring to something that is inside within a like a boundaries, or a country, or place, street, or any other um, um, place. Like the first example, Jim is in a France. France is a country, and we found the preposition in describing that where is Jim. So Jim is in France. What did Jim do in France? Jim is visiting his aunt in the hospital. And we can also find we could find two in this sentence. The second one is the whiskey is in the jar in the fridge. So where is the whiskey? The whiskey is in the jar in the fridge. The girls play in the garden. Where did the girls play? In the garden. The preposition of place also have verb at. At is used when referring to something at a specific point. So, in using at, we use in this on a sentence that we direct to the point, like there is no more wrong path or something, like you make a longer sentence. It is a straight to the point. So like what it is described, it is referred to something at a specific point. So example, the boys are at the entrance at the movie theater. So the word that we can find there, the preposition of place is at. So the boys are at. Where are the boys? They were on the entrance. At the entrance, I mean. Now, what are they doing there? What are they doing there in the entrance? Waiting for they come in to watch a movie theater. So the second one is he stood at the bus stop at the corner of Water and High Streets. Where did he stood? At the bus stop. What are they doing there? Waiting for the Water and High Streets to pass. I mean, what are they doing there? Waiting for a bus, and they're on standing on the corner of Water and High Streets. So, third example of this is we will meet at the airport. So when will you meet? At the airport. So lots of other prepositions of place such as under, over, inside, outside, above, and below are used in English. However, a lot less confusion as they refer to the rigid prepositions rather than abstract ones. So example, the cat is under the table. Put the sandwich over there. The K is locked inside the car. The step outside the house. This step outside the house. Major is ranked above corporal. He is waving at you from below the street. Um, so preposition of place. Some preposition shows where something happens. They are called preposition of place. Example of this is Sunny was sitting under a tree. So we can find the word under as a preposition of place. Now, there is a wooden floor underneath the carpet. Underneath is a preposition of place. Some geese flew over their house. Over. If this is your house, the geese is flying over there. John and Sarah were hiding inside the wardrobe. Inside is a place. The fifth sentence is there was a tree beside the river. Beside is also a place. I have a friend who lives in America. In is a place. So again, preposition is a word used to link nouns, pronouns, or phrases to other words within a sentence. They act to connect the people, objects, time, and location of a sentence. Prepositions are usually short word, and they are normally placed directly in front of a noun, meaning the preposition can be found or find after the noun or adjectives or on a pronouns. In some cases, you'll find prepositions in front of gerund verbs. A nice way to think about preposition is as the words that help glue a sentence together. Meaning, keeps together the two sentences, it was after the noun, we can find the preposition next to it. We do this by expressing possession and movement, position, time, and how an action is completed. Indeed, several of the most frequently used words in all of English, there are such as of, to, for, with, on, and at are prepositions. Explaining prepositions can seem complicated, but they are a common part of language, and most of us use them naturally without even thinking about it. We use these words commonly without thinking that we use every minute or every hour of a preposition word, even if it's time, location, or place, or a movement. In fact, it is interesting to note that prepositions are regarded as a close class of words in the English language. This means, unlike verbs and nouns, no new words are added to this group over time. In a way, it reflects the role as the functional workhorse of the sentence. They are unassuming and subtitle. Yet, vitally important to the meaning of a language. Bisan pa man o sayon siya kaysa ka sa verb or na noun, pero dapat gyapon saktang imong pagka-arrange sa sentence o ang flow sa sentence nga imong gi-make. There are two important rules to remember when using a preposition, because they are somewhat vague. Learning about prepositions and using them correctly in a sentence take practice, because translation is often impossible when dealing with prepositions. Even the most advanced English students have some difficulty at first, meaning it takes time to learn and to make ourselves correct in using preposition. The first rule is to make sentences clear. Specific prepositions are needed. For example, the preposition in means one thing and the preposition on cannot substitute for it in all cases. Some prepositions are interchangeable but not always. The correct prepositions means one particular thing. And using different prepositions will give the sentence a very different meaning. So meaning, we need to use a specific preposition and a clear sentence to make others understand it clearly and in the seconds of after they read or they listen to the sentence. Example, I want to see you in the house now. Bell means something very different from I want to see you on the house now. Bill, now Bell. In the house means Bill should go through the door, walk inside, and stand in a hall or a living room. On the house means Bill would need to get a ladder and climb to the roof where he would be on the top of the house. The second rule for using preposition is that prepositions are generally followed by nouns and pronouns. There was a time in the past when teachers held strictly to this rule, but it made for some clunky sentences. I am seeking someone. I can depend on it on ends with the preposition on, so people who insisted that sentences should not end with a preposition would be forced to use convoluted and unnatural phrasing. To avoid ending that sentences above with a preposition, you have to say someone. I can depend on is whom I am seeking. So meaning, we need to arrange carefully again to make the words that we say or the sentence we say or we write can be readable and understood quickly. So that's all for my topic, and I hope you learn a lot. And I'm sorry for speaking vernacular words, and and I hope that for this video you learn something and can be used in our daily lives. And thank you once again, and God bless.